What's up, guys? Welcome to a quick update on what's going on Dogtown Farms, spring of 2017. So we're getting ready to plant, and there's just lots of activity going on here. And of course, the whole display is not done, so most of the activity is going to focus on the yard today. And it's been rainy as all get out for about 2 weeks here, with another week of rain in the forecast. So it probably gonna have to just plant in the dry windows, which maybe will just be an afternoon or two. So let's talk tractors, y'all. A lot of you guys have been asking what's going on with Dogtown Farms. Haven't had any videos for a little bit. Life has been crazy. We're getting ready to plant for real, so that's taken up some time, plus, just a lot of other things going on. So, anyway, as you can see from the big lean-to shed over there, a lot of tractors are out right now. So where are they? And you can see we've got one here. We've got the 620 quad track, and it is fueling up, getting ready to go. Sun's shining. We're gonna get some groundwork to some point today, we think. So we've got it on the land all, till all, perfect finishing tool, lays the ground down nice, ready to plant, and so that's what it's gonna head out to do a little bit later. And then over here, of course, we've got some fertilizer going on. So I've got my Doyle spreader here, as well as the tinder bed, and it is on the John Deere tractor there, and so that will make short work of the fertilizer work. Not much fertilizer left to put on at Dogtown Farms. So let's take a quick look here in the machine shed, and you can see the two finish-alls. Now, that tractor that you saw on the spreader would normally be on the other finish-all, and they would be out knocking ground down in front of the big planter. Now, we of course use the till-all as well, and so you might be asking yourself, why use two different pieces of equipment, and then also why have three tractors running? That seems like an awful lot of tractors to field traffic and things of that nature. Well, it's simple. So the big fields, the 200 plus acre fields, that's where the till-all and the 620 go. It can cover those out pretty well. But here in the river bottoms of the Mississippi River here in Illinois, we have to cut drainage ditches in all of our fields and around the fields, and then sidewinder ditches through the fields that you just run over. But because of those drainage ditches, it can limit your field size, because you've got to get that water off the field and down to the pump station, which then pumps it into the river. So a lot of fields are smaller. So while you've got your big 200, 300 acre fields, certainly you might have a lot of 80 and 120 acre fields. So the theory here is the smaller equipment covers the smaller fields. Maybe they've got some nooks and crannies or some places that make a big piece of equipment a little less desirable to work, and then these can hit that just fine. So that's, as soon as we get rolling, we'll have both of the John Deere tractors on the finish-alls and out in the fields for you. So, heading over to the planter, like I said, it's been rainy, but we got a sunny day, so it looks like gonna at least give it a shot, see if we can't get some ground planted. So, of course, we're using the big John Deere planter right now. Been some debate on Deere early riser. When I started this display, I had a lot of discussion with friends of mine in the farm toy world, and so I kind of decided a couple things. Case IH tractors aren't used very much, so that's why I went with the quad tracks. And I almost went with the Case IH planter, but the Case IH planter I have is not that big, so I kind of doubled my acres than what I had originally intended to do here. So that meant double the equipment and a bigger planter. So anyway, plus it gives me an opportunity to use my sweet John Deere 9220 four-wheel drive, which I have done a video on previously that you guys have seen. So water tanks up front, starter fluid in the back, and that way you can cover a lot of ground, triple tires for flotation, and all of that good stuff. You know, I could go tracks, maybe a John Deere row crop quad track down the road, maybe a Case IH row crop quad track. Certainly thought about doing that, but we thought John Deere tractor will talk better with the John Deere planters, so let's go with that for now. So that is that. Now we'll move over, and pardon any sort of camera wonkiness, if you will, to the tender trailer. So, you know, we're set up to obviously tend the big planting tractor, but also the spraying applicator, the sprayer, when we get to that pretty quick here. So that's why there's a lot going on here on the planter, but we always kind of keep some extra pro boxes around, which of course you'll have to take a utility tractor to the field if you're going to load in the field. But typically we would use a seed tender, which I will show you guys that in a little bit. But we keep a couple extra pro boxes on the trailer because you just never know when you're going to need them. And then of course we've got the chemical totes back here, and then of course water tanks, chemical tanks, you know, starter fluid, things like that, row fluid, things of that nature. Got your little engine there, and we actually got a couple engines for pumping various things and all that. We'll probably actually run some lines and some shutoff valves and things like that on this before we get to heavy planting season, just so it's got that extra detail. Alright, so now, I've got this on this camera on a little tripod, so it makes getting low kind of tough, but we'll take a look in the machine shed here, because you might be wondering where the other 620 quad track is, and there it is, it's in the shed. It was getting used early in the season when it was still dry to kind of work the ground down in front of what anhydrous we had left to put on, in front of the applicator. So anyway, it's due for an oil change before it has to go and do any more heavy work. So it's just in the shop getting an oil change, and of course there's the Landau VT behind it. So I've added a few things to the shop since I last showed it, so maybe we'll just do a quick little tour of the shop if you don't mind, just so you can see what's going on in there. Alright, kind of the last part, I guess, and this part is under construction, so, you know, pardon the sloppiness over here and the messy, but is the seed tender. And of course we're running an unreversed seed tender. I guess that's how you pronounce that. That's how I always pronounced it. And we are augering out of our freezing bins, where we store some corn for the year, seed corn, seed beans as well, into that. And of course the seed tender can then head to the field with the tractor and get that done. So anyway, that is kind of your quick update on where Dogtown Farms is right now. I have some exciting stuff to show you eventually. That corner back there that you guys have seen before, that I've talked about, back where those bins are way back there, I have some stuff coming for that, and it's getting scratch built, so it's going to take a little while. The guy that's doing it, he's busy. He does some farm work as well, and of course spring is busy for everybody, and so he'll get me those whenever he gets me those, and then I'll have a really cool sort of unveiling to show you guys, probably later this year sometime. Anyway, hope you guys liked this little sort of Dogtown Farms spring preview. I will try to keep this going the best I can throughout the year. I'm not always particularly great at doing like journal entries or things of that nature. But I hope you like it. I put a lot of effort into this yard area, this shop, shop storage area, and all that. I've got more things I want to do to it yet, just to make it a little nicer. And so as I do that, I'll show you those. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hey, if you've got a YouTube channel, put that down below in the comments. I would love to see it. I love, some of the guys I like to watch. I like to watch Curtis Graham. I like to watch Sambo's Stop Mo's. Those are cool. Of course, Toy Tractor Times, things like that. One Lonely Farmer. Those guys, I'm always looking for new YouTube channels to watch because I love seeing especially toys. The big stuff, that's everywhere. There's tons of channels for that. But if you got something with toys you want to show off, put it down below in the comments. I'll check it out. We can plug it at some point. I don't care. I'm cool with that. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have yourselves a great night.